Hello friends, I'm back again with another session of chemistry and today's topic is interconversion of alcohols. This is a very important topic of alcohols curriculum, be it any syllabus for class 12, any board, ISC, CBSC, IGSC, IB. This topic is very important. Moreover, it is important for your competitive exams also if you are preparing for them. So let's start the session. And as I always say, that I always hope that you all are safe in this pandemic. And my tagline always remains the same for you all, that be positive, but then test negative. That is something very, very important. So let's discuss the ascent and the descent series. Now, when we say the ascent series, we mean the conversion of lower alcohol into higher. Ascent means increase. Therefore, we will see that how we convert a lower alcohol into higher means how we increase the carbon atom of the alkyl group, how we increase the chain. So that we will be discussing in this ascent series. So let's start. If I take an alcohol, ROH, this is a general formula. Now this alcohol is treated with hydrogen iodide. Your water gets eliminated and you get the product as Ri, ido-alkane. Now this ido-alkane, when it is treated with KCN, then your potassium being electropositive and iodine being electronegative, both have a strong affinity for each other. So easily your Ki gets eliminated and you get the product as RCN. Now this RCN is your alkyl cyanide, which undergoes a reduction process. And in this reduction process, it uses 4 nascent hydrogen. Reduction means inorganic addition of hydrogen atoms. So it forms the product as RCH2NH2. Now the moment this product is formed, you can see you have already increased 1 carbon atom in the chain. Now this is now your amine RCH2NH2. Now this amine, when undergoes an oxidation process with nitrous acid HNO2, it forms RCH2OH, which is the required alcohol for the process. Let's take an example to elaborate this entire process. Now if I take the example as CH3OH, this is your methanol which we are using. Now this methanol, when it is treated with hydrogen iodide, it will form water which will be eliminated and you will get CH3I. Your idomethane you will obtain. Now this idomethane, when it is treated with alkyl cyanide or it is treated with KCN, it is treated with KCN. Now the moment it is treated with KCN, your potassium being electropositive will combine with iodine and will form potassium iodide and you will get the product as CH3CN. The CH3CN is nothing but methyl cyanide. Now you can see till now we are using in our nomenclature methyl word. Methyl stands when your carbon atom is equal to 1 in the alkyl group. So this is your methyl cyanide. Now this methyl cyanide undergoes the reduction process and forms the compound as CH3CH2NH2. The moment this product is formed, you can see CH3 group has changed into CH3CH2, that is your ethyl group, C2H5. Now this C2H5NH2 is your ethyl amine. So your methyl has changed into ethyl. That means your ascent series is almost complete. Now in the last, your ethylamine is treated with HNO2 and you get the alcohol as CH3CH2OH. This CH3CH2OH is your ethanol. So you have managed to convert methanol into ethanol. So this is something about the ascent series. Now friends, we will discuss the next part of the topic for today, and that is your descent series. Now when we say descent series, we are talking about the conversion of lower or higher. It will be higher. Descent means coming down from higher to lower. So we will see that how we reduce the number of carbon atoms from the reactant to the final product. So for this descent series, suppose I take the alcohol as CH3, CH2OH. So before we discuss this example, let's take the general formula so that whichever alcohol is provided to you and the question has been asked, you can easily replace your R. Now this is your RCH2OH alkanol. Now this alkanol undergoes the process of oxidation. We all have done in our class 10 that alcohols on oxidation give aldehydes or ketones, and aldehydes or ketones on oxidation form carboxylic acid. So here your RCH2OH, when it will undergo oxidation, you will be using the oxidizing agent as acidified K2Cr2O7. There are many, you can use any. In this particular case, I am using acidified K2Cr2O7, that is your potassium dichromate. Now this will provide aldehyde. It will convert your alcohol into aldehyde. Now this aldehyde on further oxidation, again we will be using acidified potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7 to bring about the conversion. So this RCHO will change into the carboxylic acid. Now this carboxylic acid, when it is treated with NaOH, your NaOH is a alkali, and alkali being treated with an acid, neutralization will occur, salt and water will be formed. So here the salt which you will get will be RCOONA, sodium carboxylate. Now this sodium carboxylate salt, when it is treated with soda lime. Now what is soda lime? Soda lime is a combination of NaOH and calcium oxide. So when we take NaOH and calcium oxide, this mixture is known as soda lime. And this, when treated with your sodium salt of carboxylic acid, shows the mechanism of decarboxylation. Decarboxylation means elimination of CO2 group. And here this group is eliminated in the form of sodium carbonate, and you get an alkane which is RH. Now this alkane, when it undergoes halogenation process, again it is a repetition of the property which we have done in our previous classes. Now this reaction takes place in presence of diffuse sunlight. It forms an alkyl halide because the halogen is chlorine. So you get chloroalkane. Now this chloroalkane, when it is treated with aqueous KOH, you get the required alcohol ROH. Your potassium, being electropositive, easily combines with chlorine and forms KCl, which we have also discussed in the previous topic which we were doing just now, the discussion of SN series. There also you have seen that potassium easily combined with iodine because potassium is electropositive, and it will always have a strong affinity for halogens, be it any halogen, because halogens are electronegative in nature. So this gives you the alcohol in which you have managed to reduce the number of carbon atoms. Now we will take the example of CH3CH2OH and we will see how the reaction goes about. Now this CH3CH2OH ethanol, when this ethanol is treated with acidified K2Cr2O7, it will undergo the process of oxidation and it will form an aldehyde CH3CHO. So it will form ethanol. Now this ethanol will again undergo the process of oxidation. Again it will be treated with acidified K2Cr2O7 and it will give a carboxylic acid which is CH3COOH. Commonly it is known as acetic acid. It is a vinegar, but the IUPAC name is ethanoic acid. Now this ethanoic acid, when it is treated with NaOH, it undergoes the process of neutralization and it forms a salt, sodium ethanoate. If we go about writing the IUPACs, then this will be the IUPAC name. Now this sodium ethanoate, when it is treated with soda lime, the mixture of NaOH and calcium oxide, it gives you alkane CH3.H. So you have automatically converted your ethanoate. Here there were 2 carbon atoms, but here now you are left with 1 carbon atom, and this product which is formed is known as methane. This methane, when treated with chlorine, forms CH3Cl, chloromethane. So we started writing the name as ethanol because the carbon atoms were 2 in the reactant, and we are ending up writing the names in terms of methane because now we are left with 1 carbon atom. So this chloromethane, when it is treated with the aqueous KOH, it gives you the required alcohol, CH3OH. So this completes the session for conversion of higher alcohol into lower alcohol. I hope the session was fruitful. The topic is clear to know to you all. You can convert any alcohol, be it lower to higher or higher to lower. That is why I have discussed the entire conversion in terms of R. So that as per the requirements, you can always replace your R with the required alkyl group. Thank you.